I was not born for war. I was not carved from prophecy. I did not scream myself into existence like the gods who rule this world. I was born quiet, I stay that way. But I loved him. Loki, the one they all whisper about. The fire they never could control. The liar, the shapeshifter, the trickster, the bringer of ends. That's who I married. Not because I didn't see the chaos in him, but because I did. And I loved him, anyway. He made the gods laugh. Once. He walked their halls, gave them gifts, bled for their battles. He was one of them, until he wasn't. They never trusted what they couldn't cage. And before they called him traitor, they punished what he loved. They took his daughter Hel and locked her beneath the earth, told her she belonged with the dead. They threw his son Jormungandr into the sea and called him a monster. They bound Fenrir in chains with riddles and tricks, terrified of what he might become. Before Loki had done anything unforgivable, they decided what he was. They didn't see his children as innocent. They saw them as omens, as threats, as echoes of the chaos they feared he would bring. And so they exiled them, one by one, as if prophecy gave them permission to be cruel. Loki saw what they were doing. He saw the cages around him tighten. Maybe it broke something in him, or maybe it simply revealed what was always there. And then came Balder. Beautiful, beloved Balder, the Shining One. Dreams of his death shook the heavens, and so his mother begged everything in the world to never harm him. Every stone, every sickness, every flame swore not to touch him. Every one, except the mistletoe. Loki saw the flaw, or maybe he became it. Some say he did it out of envy. Some say cruelty. But I wonder if it was fate pulling his strings, whispering to the misfit god that he would always be the edge, never the center. So, he placed the mistletoe in Hoder's hand, Balder's blind brother. A joke, a test, or maybe a rebellion against a perfect world that never had space for him. And when the spear flew and Balder fell, the gods' laughter died with him. They called it murder. They called it betrayal. They called it the beginning of the end. I don't argue, but I know what they did next. They came for our children. They turned Vali into a wolf and set him on his brother. I will never forget the screams. I wasn't there to stop it. No mother should hear what I heard. Nafi, torn apart by his own brother's teeth because they wanted Loki to feel it. They took my sons not for justice, but to teach their father pain. Their innocence was a weapon, and the gods used it without mercy. And then they took Nafi's entrails and used them as chains to bind their father in a cave, deep beneath the earth. Not ropes, not steel, but the torn insides of our child. That is the weight around his wrists. That is the price of their vengeance. I chose to go with him. No one made me, no one asked. The gods left him alone in the dark to rot, and I followed. I carry a bowl, that's all I do now. A serpent hangs above him, dripping venom onto his face, poison meant to make him scream forever. I hold the bowl and catch what I can. I hold it until it overflows, and then I have to empty it. And in that moment when I step away, I hear him scream, and I run back. Because love doesn't stop just because the world decided it should. Because silence doesn't mean indifference. Because someone has to stay, even when it's hopeless. I look into that bowl, and sometimes I see the reflection of my boys, blurred in the venom, faces I can't touch anymore. And I wonder if this is my punishment, not for loving a monster, but for staying when I should have run, for choosing him, again and again, even when the sky was falling. They say Loki will break free at Ragnarok, that he will rise with the dead and bring the end. Maybe that's true. Maybe fate is just a slow suffocation none of us can escape. But I stopped believing in justice the day my sons died. The gods speak of order, of balance, of punishment. But I see only cruelty. I see a man born to break things, and a world that pushed him toward the edge. And I see children, my children, slaughtered for a message. I am not a goddess of war or wisdom. I am not the mother of prophecy. I am a mother who was told to keep breathing after her children were murdered. A wife who was told to hold a bowl and call it love. I don't care about Ragnarok, or fate, or prophecy. Let the sky fall. Let the end come. The gods who call themselves just murdered innocents to make a point. So if the world burns, maybe it deserves to.